Now, another topic which is very important is the event loop. This, I think, is a very critical topic in JavaScript. This has to be taught or explained properly. When you come to, I think, node environment, there is a bit more detailed explanation for this. But what is expected is that you should mention what is a call stack. Okay, so first of all, I think a lot of people end up explaining this within 15 seconds. That's a no-go, right? Don't do that. This is worth at least 30 minutes to talk, right? So I would expect at least a 2 to 5 minute answer for this. All right, if you want to have a structure to explaining this, explain how JavaScript is an asynchronous function, or is a synchronous language. It's a synchronous language, but it handles asynchronous behavior. Why? Because it's a browser-based language. So there's a lot of things which works around networks and events as such. So we have a lot of callbacks and a lot of things that can go into the background and will invoke whenever is required. So the call stack is very important. So you can explain how each program has like an execution call stack, and it kind of you should explain this also, saying that the call stack kind of keeps a track of what is being executed and what kind of values and things are there in memory and etc. All of that. You should probably talk about the heap memory where all the variables are being stored. So event listeners, all of that stuff is in your heap memory. You can talk about the web API, all the like set interval, etc. All are part of the web API. So that's how JavaScript knows it's on a separate API itself. So that's how JavaScript knows some of the stuff is asynchronous as such. The next thing is the task queue, or the callback queue is what you should be explaining. Now, one important thing is that so when synchronous code is happening, it goes to the call stack and it starts getting executed. So whenever they find the asynchronous methods, it gets recognized, and then a timer or a callback is kept into it, which the web API or JavaScript handles it for you. Once it's done or ready, or maybe a network request is ready, it pushes it into the task queue. All right, and from the task queue, one by one, things get invoked into the call stack. Now, one very important thing people need to mention is that if the call stack is not empty, then the task queue does not start pushing elements out, or it does not push it to the call stack. So you have to wait till all the synchronous code is run and it's over, then only will the task queue elements get called. So this is one of the reasons why you need to make sure there isn't any blocking code. All right. So you need to mention that. You can also mention how you can overflow the stack also. So these will give you some extra points also if you mention all of these. So this is what I would expect minimum of someone if they're asked about event loops. There are a bit more detailed ones. If you want to know that the promise, the things that was introduced in promises, the promise job agent, it's called a job agent, but you don't have to know exactly, but it has a higher priority. So there's something called priority queues, which again, you don't need to know, but it would be like interesting thing if you bring up. But if you don't talk about it, then you may get some other questions around priority queue. So again, it depends on what you want to do. So I think I might have mentioned about I think we took this example already, where we spoke about how the promise gets invoked first. right? So this is kind of working on the priority queue. This is a bit controversial because sometimes depending on the browser to browser, it depends on the implementation. So things can change, and especially Internet Explorer things are different.